The school year is here, but when your student is in the groove of work, mental challenges can come along with it. And today we have Michaela Campbell and Grant Tomey joining us to share some more on all of this, and because our mental health is truly our wealth. So thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to start it off with you, Grant. I want to talk about what are some things that parents can do right now when it comes to reducing anxiety for their student.
For sure. Anxiety, as I'm sure a lot of you can attest to, is a serious issue in a lot of our schools, and particularly going into the new school year can be really anxiety provoking for kids. First of all, we have to be aware of if there's an actual issue. So keeping communication open with your kids is super important, keeping an open dialogue. Also, as we're getting into a new school year, we're developing new routines. So trying to keep kids on a regular routine and trying to establish that new schedule. In my experience, bedtimes are pivotal in a place that things can kind of go off the rails pretty quick. So keeping that open line of communication and then having starting to get into a good regular routine is a good place to start.
I love that, and bedtime is crucial. I was one thing for certain. My mom always had me in bed by 8 o'clock.
I knew it.
Absolutely. So then I want to get into more and talk with you, Michaela. So talk about what is the difference between regular development, anxiety, and depression, and then when should parents be concerned about this?
Yeah, so mental health conditions such as anxiety and depression are really common. About 1 in 5 adolescents will experience an emotional, mental, or behavioral condition. Caregivers should become concerned about these when it begins to interrupt their kids' lives, affects their performance, or when they're starting to isolate more than normal. However, it's also really important to note that kids' mental health conditions don't always show up the way that we think that they're going to. You know, they can look like a lot of different things, and sometimes it looks like physical symptoms, like headaches or stomach aches with no explainable cause, frequent trips to the school nurse, sleep changes, decreased appetites. It might also look like some emotional and behavioral changes, like irritability or defiance, especially in the mornings before school, prolonged sadness or outburst of crying, difficulty concentrating, a loss of interest in their hobbies and activities, and maybe some overindulgence in their screen time. Yeah. And really what's really important to note here is that sometimes kids aren't able or willing to talk about these feelings or identify them on their own, so it's really important that caregivers know what to look out for when it comes to their kids' mental health.
Definitely. So then, Grant, let's say that we found somebody who does see the concern in their student. What should they do when it comes to moving forward with that?
For sure. The earliest that you can intervene, the better. Like I was saying earlier, keeping that open line of communication, look for conversation starters, ask open-ended questions, ask questions about how the kid's day was during school. It doesn't have to be drilling down into the heart of the issue. Just ask questions surrounding the issue and just encourage the child to be open with you. And if you do have concerns, you can reach out to Horizon's admission line. We have the phone number, I believe, on the screen at the end of the segment. But the earlier, the better. And seeking counseling therapy shouldn't wait until the problem is so big that we can't manage it. So the earlier, the better, and an open line of communication.
Absolutely. So then when it comes to a family and they might need additional support, Michaela, what should they be doing?
Yeah, so if they need additional support, the best place to really start is for the kids, like within the school, like helping the students identify who their helpers at school are going to be. So that's going to include like their teachers or guidance counselors, maybe the principal, the nurse. And like Grant said, keeping open those lines of communication, not just between the kids and the parents, but between the parents and these other resources is really vital to supporting our kids. And if the problem is consistent and long-term, Horizon Behavioral Health is here to help. Horizon serves kids as young as 2 years old. And every kid deserves to have a great school year, and mental health support is really key in making that possible. So like Grant said, just reaching out to Horizon if things become more problematic.
Understood. So then I want to get into Horizon Services, Grant, and talk about what is available to support the students during school day. Let's talk about it all.
For sure. So I can speak on school-based services, and that's during the school hours. One great thing that Horizon offers is school-based mental health outpatient counseling, which is essentially what you think of traditional office-based counseling therapy, but in the schools. So we're embedded in the school system. We are in Lynchburg City. We're also in Bedford County, Appomattox, and Campbell. Reaching out to Horizons admission line to get those services started. And like I said, traditional therapy, counseling, but within the school. It's a great place to start.
Absolutely. And then, Michaela, let's talk about how a parent can stay connected with these services when it comes to if their child may need behavioral support.
Yeah, so like I kind of mentioned beforehand, one of the first points of contact is going to be the school. You know, they can help you in a great deal of ways, and that's where kids spend a lot of their time at. Finding support there is going to be key. But again, if the additional support is needed, Horizon Behavioral Health is here to help, and that number is going to be 434-477-5000.
I want to say thank you both so much again.
Yeah, thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Absolutely. And then for more information on Horizon Behavioral Health, you can give them a call at that number. Remember it for sure, 434-477-5000. And you can find more online at horizonbh.org. We'll see you right back after the break.